Hello, fellow educators. This is the second faculty development segment designed to provide you with actionable information to use in your teaching. Because everyone is busy, each segment features only 5 points in 5 minutes. Thanks for watching. This segment will demystify evaluations and answer 5 questions you may have. How are they used? Where did the questions come from? What numbers should I give? How can I make my input useful? And will the resident be angry with me for what I say? Let's take these questions one at a time. First, how are they used? Evaluations provide information about how a resident is progressing on the road to independent practice. The ACGME has outlined 22 areas that a resident should be competent in to graduate. These 22 areas add more specificity to the original 6 competencies of patient care, medical knowledge, professionalism, system-based practice, practice-based learning and improvement, and interpersonal and communication skills. Our evaluations measure these sub-competencies and allow us to assess how a resident is doing. For example, a wards rotation evaluation asks, can the resident care for patients admitted with the most common problems seen on the general medical wards? To do this, the resident must elicit an accurate history, perform an appropriate physical exam, and collect and interpret pertinent data. This question is tied to the ACGME subcompetency Patient Care 1 or PC1. And this single question will give a small piece of information about how the resident is performing in this aspect of patient care. Multiple questions from multiple rotations will provide data points to give a picture of whether the resident is on track for each sub-competency. Question 2. Where did the questions come from? You. A representative from each rotation created a list of questions designed to assess if the educational goals for the rotation were being met. Then, for each question, 5 anchors were developed that describe behaviors that match levels of achievement. Anchors 1 and 2 describe the skills of a resident in need of further support. Anchor 3 describes a resident who is competent in this skill. And anchors 4 and 5 describe a resident performing above what is expected. For example, an ICU question asks if the resident is able to recognize when a patient has become critically ill and whether the resident takes appropriate steps to address the change in status. By choosing the anchor that matches the resident's performance, your evaluation is objective and not just a general gestalt. Anchor 3, highlighted here, describes a resident who is on target for that ICU skill. This leads us to question 3. What number should I give? The short answer is 3. 3 describes competence to practice a skill with minimal assistance. If a resident isn't there yet, let us know. We can help get them there. Question 4. How can I make my input useful? First, don't overinflate. Just like an overinflated tire, overinflated ratings won't work well. You may think you're being nice giving a resident a 5, but if they're a 5, they're better than you. And is that really true? For perspective, the information you provide is only one of many pieces of information used to give a full picture. A single number will contribute to the full picture, but in itself is not high stakes. Also, please add thoughtful comments. Your comments provide valuable information. If you limit your comment to read more or a pleasure to work with, the resident is likely to feel confused, or even worse, think you don't care enough to provide guidance, and we know that's not true. A comment like this one lets the resident know what could be done better and why. Your rationale for the plan would benefit from more detail. For instance, you wrote chest pain, not cardiac, no further testing. It's important to describe why you think it's not cardiac to demonstrate your careful consideration and keep a Monday morning quarterback from questioning why you did what you did. And our last question, will the trainee be angry with me for what I say? Unlikely. Our residents' biggest complaint is that they don't get enough information about how they're doing. However, please remember, there should be no surprises. The evaluations should document information you have already shared with the resident. Thanks for watching, and thank you for the time and dedication you give to educating our residents. You make them successful.